Once upon a time, in a small town nestled in the heart of a great forest, there was a secret garden that only appeared at night. The garden was hidden away from the eyes of the townspeople, and only those who were lucky enough to stumble upon it by chance would ever know of its existence. One night, a group of children were playing hide-and-seek in the woods when they stumbled upon the night garden. At first, they were afraid of the strange, glowing flowers and the eerie sounds that filled the air. But then, they saw a small, furry creature dart out from behind a bush and scamper up a tree. "Did you see that?" whispered Emma, pointing to the creature. "Yeah, what was that?" asked Jack, peering into the darkness. "I don't know, but I want to find out," said Lily, taking a step forward. Curiosity overcame their fear, and they began to explore the garden. As they walked along the winding paths, they discovered more and more enchanted flowers. There were roses that glowed red, lilies that shone like the moon, and daisies that twinkled like stars. "This is amazing!" exclaimed Jack, picking up a daisy and holding it up to his face. "I know, right?" said Emma, twirling around in a circle. "I've never seen anything like this before." As they continued to explore, the children met many of the garden's magical creatures. There were tiny winged fairies that flitted around the flowers, leaving trails of sparkling dust behind them. There were also gnomes that peeked out from under mushrooms, and rabbits that hopped around on their hind legs like people. "Look, a fairy!" gasped Lily, pointing to a small, glowing figure hovering over a rose. "I think it likes you," said Jack, as the fairy flew closer to Lily and hovered in front of her face. "Hi there," said Lily, grinning from ear to ear. The children spent hours exploring the garden, marveling at its wonders and making friends with its inhabitants. They chased after the fairies and laughed at the antics of the gnomes. They even tried to catch one of the rabbits, but it was too quick for them. As they walked through the dark woods on their way home, the children talked excitedly about what they had seen and experienced. "That was so cool," said Emma. "I can't wait to come back and explore some more." "Me too," said Jack. "Did you guys see the way that gnome was dancing? I couldn't stop laughing." "I want to catch one of those rabbits next time," said Lily, determined. Over the next few nights, the children returned to the night garden, each time bringing more of their friends. They showed them the enchanted flowers and the magical creatures, and soon the garden was filled with the laughter and chatter of children. One night, as they were playing hide-and-seek, Lily stumbled upon a clearing filled with wilted flowers. She gasped in horror and called out to her friends, "Guys, come quick! There's something wrong with the flowers over here." The children rushed over and saw that the flowers were wilting and losing their glow. "Oh no! What's happening?" asked Emma, her eyes widening. "I don't know, but we have to do something about it," said Jack, determined. The children gathered up all of the fading flowers and took them home with them. They watered them and tended to them, and soon they began to glow brightly once again. They also took care of the creatures in the garden, feeding them and giving them shelter. Slowly but surely, the magic of the garden returned, and the night garden bloomed once more, brighter and more beautiful than ever before. Word of the night garden began to spread through the town, and soon more and more people were making their way to the garden at night. The children were overjoyed to see so many people enjoying the magic of the garden, and they made it their mission to make sure that it was always cared for and protected. As they worked to tend to the garden, the children learned many things about the magic that surrounded them. They discovered that the enchanted flowers glowed because they were nourished by the light of the moon. They also learned that the fairies and gnomes and rabbits were all connected to the garden in some way, and that they depended on the children to help care for it. Over time, the children became known as the guardians of the night garden, and they took their duties very seriously. They made sure that everyone who visited the garden understood the importance of respecting its magic, and they taught them how to care for the flowers and creatures that lived there. Years passed, and the children grew up and moved away, but the night garden remained a cherished memory for them all. They knew that the garden would continue to bloom, and that it would always be a place of magic and wonder for generations to come. And so, on warm summer nights, when the moon was high in the sky and the stars twinkled overhead, the people of the town would make their way to the night garden, where they would sit among the glowing flowers and watch as the fairies danced and the gnomes played their music. They would whisper stories of the guardians who had cared for the garden so long ago, and they would marvel at the magic that surrounded them. For the night garden was a place of wonder and enchantment, a place where anything was possible and where dreams came true. And as long as there were children to care for it, the magic of the night garden would continue to shine bright, lighting up the darkness of the night and bringing joy and wonder to all who entered its gates. The end.